Can you guys believe it's been over a month since Gininda has been in Judge Arata's courtroom over there inside Pagati, the witness box? Well, not really a full month because, he had other engagements like his alleged UNISA LLB exams and allegedly, another court case in another courtroom where he is accused of, helping himself to 58,000 rands. But you know what, Asiko Lapo, the purpose of this video today is last week, Mnisi, advocate Charles Mnisi, he wanted to read into the record, the summary of substantial facts. And he said, and this is literally what he said to Baloyi when Baloyi did one of his many squats. I wonder how Baloyi is going to be doing this week because, the squatting life is not an easy life. So I wonder if he's going to, change his chair and have a bar stool instead so that it is easier to rise with his objections because Mnisi is getting on his lower nerve. Mnisi is bringing things into the record that, the state doesn't want known. For example, Advocate Mnisi said, I think my colleague is running away from telling the court about what you read being a prejudice to the accused. There is nowhere Kelly Khumalo is mentioned as a kingpin in the summary of substantial facts. Let me tell you something. And then he goes on to say, instead, she is mentioned as a victim. Now, why am I bringing this to your attention? I went all the way back, I went all the way back so you don't have to go back. And I said, wait a minute. Since Baloyi is objecting so much, does he not know that this is 2024 and we can just go back and find the record? We might not have the transcripts, but we have access, So we're going back. So I went back and I said, you know what? I want to, we can't just always just believe Mnisi at face value. We know he's charismatic, he's got the character, and he drops the lines, But you know what? In all fairness, let's go back and check. Let's go and check what Mnisi is talking about. And let me tell you, I was shocked to find out that one of the charges is attempted murder for Mzansi Khumalo. Say what now? Okay. I'm going to play the clips here and let you guys listen in as well as when Baloyi reads into the record, At the Boksburg Magistrate Court, he read into the record the summary of substantial facts. Let's play the clip here.
Firearm. And the last count, count 5, is possession of ammunition. The particulars of the accused have already been put on record. As far as count 1 is concerned, the state will aver that on the 26th of October 2014, at Fosleres in the Scotts district, the accused killed Mr. SENZO Meyiwa, a 30-year-old male, by shooting him with a firearm. Second count will be that on the same date and place, the accused attempted to kill Ms. Zandile Lorraine Khumalo, an adult female, by shooting her with a firearm. Count 3 will be that on the same date, place, the accused robbed Ms. Kelly Khumalo of a Samsung cellular phone. Aggravating circumstances being present in that the firearm was used. Count 4 will be that on the same date and place, the accused were in possession of a 9mm Parabellum C7 model 775 pistol with an obliterated serial number without being in possession of a license to possess the said firearm. And count 5 is that on the same date and place, they were in possession of an unknown quantity of non-parabellum caliber ammunition. Your Worship, the state is going to allege the following facts: that the deceased, Mr. SENZO Meyiwa, was born on the 24th of January 1984 and was a well-known professional footballer who played as a goalkeeper for Orlando Pirates in the Premier Soccer League and for the South African national team, Bafana Bafana. That he was in a love relationship with an equally famed artist, Mrs. Kelly Khumalo, and they had a child born out of that relationship. that on the evening of the 26th of October 2014, Mr. SENZO MEYIWA had visited Ms. Kelly Kumalo at her mother's house in Postponement. That there were several other persons in the said house, namely Ms. Letness Kumalo, who is the owner of the house, Ms. Zandile Lorraine Kumalo, she's the sister to Kelly Kumalo, Mr. Longe Twala, Mr. Timelo Madala, a friend of Mr. SENZO MEYIWA, and Mr. Mtokozizi Twala in the lounge/dining room area of the house. That at about 2000 hours, two persons burst into the house, armed with a firearm and knife, and demanded money and cell phones. That a scuffle ensued between Mr. SENZO MEYIWA and the person armed with a firearm, who was dreadlocked, had a gold slit on one of the tooth, and was wearing a khaki-colored jacket. A shot was discharged, and it ricocheted on the floor and struck Ms. Zandi Lorraine Kumalo in the right ankle, against the charge of attempted murder. A second shot went off, and Mr. MEYIWA was then shot once in the chest whilst in a standing position, and the bullet went through his body. Well, first went through his chest, then his body, and exited at his back, and it hit the back of the door that Mr. MEYIWA was standing against. This was a contact shot. The state is going to aware that possibly 3 shots were discharged in total. The state is also going to aware that a cell phone was removed from Ms. Kelly Kumalo, and the attackers then fled, dropping a head on the premises. Mr. MEYIWA was then transported to the nearby Butsilong Health Facility in Postponement, where he was declared dead on arrival at 21:15. A postmortem was conducted on Mr. MEYIWA on the 28th of October 2014 by Dr. Johannes Steenekamp, and the cause of death is given as consistent with bullet wounds on the chest involving the heart and lung. The state will also aware that a spent bullet fragment and one spent 9mm caliber bullet were subsequently found in the house. And lastly, the state will aware that the accused were acting in the furtherance of a common purpose.
Is there a copy being supplied to the interpreter for her assistance?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Njengoba-ke nasengicazele ukuthi ke nalena ngaphambi komthetho amaphepha-ke andizele ukuthi
So just in case you haven't been following this case since Boksburg Magistrate Court, that is the voice of Advocate Baloyi. That's right, State Prosecutor Advocate Baloyi was over there in the Boksburg Magistrate Court, and then he's over here in the Pretoria North High Court. Don't ask me how that's happening. He's able to do it, okay? But so Baloyi was bringing the charges forward to the magistrate. This is their first appearance for the charges of SENZO MEYIWA. Remember, the Constitution says they have to be charged within 48 hours, the way they have to be informed of what they're being arrested for. But we know they've been in jail forever, okay? Accused number 1 was arrested in May. Ubangani Ntanzi was arrested on June 16, 2020. And then the others, were already incarcerated for their own, mskebengo things that they do, okay? But now this is their first time appearing together as a group. And as they say, it's also their first time meeting one another. You have to wait until accused number 5 speaks. So make sure you stay till the end, because we actually hear accused number 5 talking. And he's like, you know what? Let me not do a spoiler alert. Stay till the end. I'm going to play the clip where accused number 5 speaks. And I think, I've watched this clip before. I've also posted this video before. But listening to it now, after Gininda is on the stand, it's just so enraging. So enraging, the level of injustice, or should I say alleged injustice. We saw in the clip I just played where the judge, Advocate Baloyi has read into the record has read into the record the summary of substantial facts. You see, we're learning these legal terms, and now we know, okay? He's read into the record the summary of the substantial facts. And one of the facts that he mentions it, the gold tooth insert. None of the 5 accused have a gold tooth insert. And I hope Mnisi continues to hammer down on that gold tooth. Because who has the gold tooth? Who is this person? But so that is read into the record, and then now you see Mnisi, accused number 1, raise his hand. Like, you can just tell the level of how these guys are just in a state of shock. Then they're, I would say, in denial, so to speak. They can't even believe they're being accused of, and they're just trying to tell the magistrate, listen, sir, we've been under tough terms, and we just want to tell you, because you're the magistrate, you're the court, we're here to respect you, but I'm just going to raise my hand. You can even tell the way that he does it. It's from a place of, I'm going to honor you, but I really want to talk. This is my chance to speak before I'm back down there in the holding cells and back in whatever prison, because Gininda's got holding a very, very tight ship. And he raises his hand. Magistrate ignores. Interpreter speaks. This interpreter I love. I wish she could be the one inside the trial, because I understand her. I understand her when she speaks, and she flows. But let's continue listening on. You see here Mnisi raising his hand, and that's their first attempt to tell their story. And over here, another thing that they say is that accused number 1, 3, 4, and 5 do not have legal representation. But surprise, surprise, the guy with the confession that places everyone over there at the Spaza house has a legal representation. And you already know the drama around that. So we're waiting for the state, who is assisting Mnisi in verifying those FF numbers, because we need to know, Baloyi, what is going on. Why can't Mjiago come speak for himself? Okay, but let me pause here. Let's listen into the next clip. I'll be back, of course, with the rest of my summary. If you haven't liked the video already, please like the video right here, please.
Your Worship, the state will aver that in light of the circumstances, the matter results under Schedule 6, and that in terms of Section 611, that the accused must be kept in custody until they show that exceptional circumstances exist for their being released on bail. And the state will then request that the matter be postponed at this stage for the service of the documents as mentioned in Section 144, a final indictment. I don't know whether the court allocates a date or...
Just before we get to that, accused number 1, 3, 4, and 5 were unrepresented. You have now heard what the state is going to be alleging. The court must inform you that you are entitled to bring a formal bail application if you wish to do so. This is, as the state has already pointed out, a so-called Schedule 6 offence, which means that you will have to convince the court that there are exceptional circumstances as to why it is in the interest of justice for you to be released on bail.
Accused number 1, 3, 4, and 5, njengoba senizileke ukuthi intolo-ke zokushishisa-ke ukuthi zithini.
In order to convince the court, you will have to reduce evidence either by testifying yourself, handing in an affidavit, or by calling witnesses to testify on your behalf. But there must be formal evidence placed before the court can make a finding that it is in the interest of justice for you to be released on bail. So, dear accused number 1, do you wish to bring a bail application?
Babuthi be accused number 1, ngasani kwa isicelo sebail. Your Worship, before I proceed to the question of bail, Your Worship, I would like to explain to the court that when I'm standing here before court as it is, Your Worship, what is it that exactly means?
Right. I'm not going to allow you at this stage to hijack the proceedings. There are certain processes that needs to be followed. The court explained to you firstly your right with regards to legal representation. You indicated that you did not even answer. The court now wishes to inquire from you whether you intend bringing a bail application. Do you wish to answer this question?
Angeke sikunikeze ithuba lokuthi wena-ke ukwazi ukupresentele umthanda osuthatheliwe ukuthi-ke amalungelo akho athini. Sizakuchazela ukuthi unalelo lungelo lokuthi ube nomlungu. Azange uze uphendule nakulokho. Manje-ke nesicela ukuthi uphendule lo mbuzo lona uzibuzwayo manje ukuthi ungathanda yini ukuthi uwenze isicelo sebail. No, Your Worship, I will not be applying for bail.
In 2020, right here in the Boksburg Magistrate Court, the court told the 5 accused that they are entitled to legal aid, to apply for legal aid so that they can have legal representation, which means the court is fully aware that accused number 1, 3, 4, and 5 do not have legal representation, although of course we know Egabongani Ntanzi is highly questionable, but asiko lapho. Okay, accused number 1 is then asked by this same court, do you want to apply for bail? Now, let's think about it in, layman's terms. Do you even know how to apply for bail? Do you even know, by applying for bail, are you pleading to the case? Are you agreeing to the case? From where I'm watching, I think accused number 1 said to himself, you know what, I'm not going to plead in this matter. I'm not going to apply for bail. I'm just not accepting being here. I have nothing to do with the SENZO MEYIWA a case. Of course, that is, immaturity, lack of understanding of the law, which is why I like to do these videos where we're learning, okay? We're learning how to, 1, get legal aid, 2, apply for bail. I believe, it is my humble opinion, that Mr. Magistrate was wrong here. Mr. Magistrate was wrong and their legal rights were being infringed upon. They had no legal representation. They had no business answering questions about bail and do you want legal aid? Why were they not provided with legal representation before appearing in court in order to answer these specific questions? Feels to me like an ambush. I don't know, but I'm speaking from a layman's perspective. If you have knowledge, please make sure you drop it in the comment section down below. 1, how to apply for legal aid. So from the time that you're arrested, okay, how do you even get legal representation? How do you get legal representation? Because surprise, surprise, Jigi Bongani Ntanzi got legal representation. Why did the others not have legal representation? Why did the others not have the same privilege that Bongani Ntanzi had? What was so special about Bongani Ntanzi that he got the legal representation and nobody else? And how did he get the legal representation? But you already know the questions. You already know, okay? Mnisi is uncovering all that. Mnisi, I believe Mnisi is going to get to the bottom of this for all of us, okay? But I also want to talk about what else. Yeah, I felt it was unfair. But drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Should the magistrate have asked Umuzi Sivia this question regarding bail at this point in time when he clearly has no clue what's going on? Clearly, it is beyond clearer than clear, crystal clear. But let's continue on.
You wish to bring a bail application?
I am serving a sentence.
So will you not be applying for that?
I mean, no, Your Worship, only it can be explained to me as to what is the reason that I am arrested.
Namhlanje ngoba nakho ngibona ukuthi yena thina sasingaphandle sebezakithi yabona yena lokujatshwa ngoJune ngoba namhlanje ngizophathela.
This matter, various people in the worship are being in the worship that when we are family and then now they are coming to us worship and politically we are the one who did this.
You can be quiet now. As the court explained to you earlier, I'm not going to deal with the merits of the matter today. That is for the trial court to decide. You will get your day in court where you can place your version of the facts before the court. And if you say you do not know why you are here, the interpreter interpreted the charges as well as a summary of the facts on which the state is going to rely.
Man, listening to that in 2024, knowing that after this appearance, he's then put in solitary confinement for 4 years. Could this have been the reason why he was placed in solitary confinement indefinitely because he says, listen, okay, fine, you want me to apply for bail. I'm already charged in another matter. But while we're on the topic, I just want to know what is the reason why I am arrested. Today it is me. But before it was others at Empangeni. I think he says Empangeni. They were the ones who were arrested for this until they found out that in 2014 they were in prison. So they let them go, and then now they're pinning this crime on me, aka us. What is the reason? And the magistrate interrupts him and says, hey, we're not here to talk about the merits of the court. You will have your day in court to talk about that. Here it's, do you want bail, yes or no? Period. Okay. Again, he has no legal representation. Mr. Magistrate, he has no legal representation. How is he supposed to make decisions with no legal advice? That's my thought process. This here, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking knowing what they go through, what he went through after that, leading to today's version in court. And, everything happens for a reason. And there's a reason why he has Mnisi. And Mnisi is fighting tooth and nail for him. But let's go and listen now to the version of accused number 4.
Number 4, Mr. Mapisa, do you intend bringing a bail application?
Accused number 4, Mapisa, my hand participate. I am serving a sentence, Your Worship. I do not see the necessity of applying for bail.
Mr. Ntuli, do you intend bringing a bail application?
Ntuli, my hand participate. Your Worship, at the moment, I do not see the need to proceed with the bail application, Your Worship, because I'm also incarcerated, Your Worship. I have a pending case elsewhere.
Okunye bengizocela ukuthi inkantolo iqonde lokho ngoba sichaza ngento eyenzeke kithi asikhulumi ngento esizwile thina.
The other thing, Your Worship, the point that we would like to drive forward to the court is that what we are explaining to the court, we are explaining something that happened to us.
Ubaba lo nangu kwenza ubugebengu baba. Ufike lapha inkantolo wafika eqala kusho la ngihlala khona. Wabiza ukuthelisa wathi uzothatha yena ngaleli gama. Wathi uyathinteka namhlanje ubiza thina. Nangu baba ukhuluma umuntu.
The gentleman, Your Worship, who wearing glasses, Your Worship, first came to Baloyi, where I decided and he said that he was there to arrest him. Now the tables have turned, Your Worship, he is now appointing us.
Right, how long will the state need in order to get the documentation ready and full service of the documents?
So again, having listened to what accused number 5, Fisole Ntuli, said at the Boksburg Magistrate Court back then, and comparing to him in court when he gave Uzungu the spam signal, okay, the pow signal, you can understand, and he's explaining here, listen, this is a guy who's got 6 life sentence convictions, okay, and he's like, listen, okay, I know I got my own problems in life, but this one is not one of them, okay? And he says, that man over there, and I believe he's pointing at Ukininda, okay? And he says, Wabiza Ubutelezi. So he called Ubutelezi. Where do we know the name Butelezi from? From Kininda himself, okay? And then Chigi, today he's charging me for this. He's charging us for this. When in the beginning he was charging Ubutelezi, only to find out that what? He was arrested. And then he says to the magistrate, we are explaining what has happened to us. We're not telling you a story or enganewane or rumors. We're telling you something that has happened to us. Unfortunately, Mr. Magistrate over there is like, whatever. This is not my story. This is not my circus. I don't care. I'm just here, to hear the charges, and we move forward, and I give you a trial date. You move to the High Court. This is a Schedule 6 offense. This is bigger than me, okay? I'm not here to listen to the stories. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How is the magistrate justified in his reaction? In this case, he literally ignored him. And remember, these guys have no legal representation at this point. But he says, Obabalo wenza ubugebengu, okay? Ukeninda wenza ubugebengu. Should that have been a trial within a trial? I absolutely think so. Why was that not a trial within a trial? But you know what? Let's continue listening on and see what else happens next.
Requesting for the 27th of November. Njiaku, any objection against the requested postponement to that date? Just one last aspect. The state has indicated that the accused were transported from various destinations. What is the request with regards to the detention of the accused?
Indeed, Your Lordship, all the accused are currently in custody. The state will request that they all be postponed in custody. Accused number 1 is currently held at Modabi Correctional Facility. The 7 detention warrant should be held there in the week. Accused number 2 has to be postponed at the area police station.
Just with regards to police stations, I have not received any written confirmation from the station commissioner with regards to the conditions and the suitability of the area police station as a detention center. And at this stage, the court will not entertain such only correctional centers. Where is he currently held?
There's no information that is currently held in the area.
Right. I will give you the opportunity to discuss the issue quickly with the investigating officer. In the absence of anything else, the court will then order that he be detained at Boksburg Correctional Center. Do you wish to speak to the investigating officer?
I'll speak to him. If you can then speak to Mr. Karim. He's currently held at the prison. The president is going to prison. This number 4 is currently held at Luko prison.
Luko.
Yes, Luko. This is going to Luko Correctional Center. And this number 5 is currently held at Pepangeni, at the prison known as an Australian for the court, is QA.
Another QA.
That's QARA, only one Q. QARA KAVUSHA, Tarakabusha.
All right. While you discuss the issue with the investigating officer, the court is going to address the accused who are not represented by attorneys at this stage again. At the beginning of the proceedings, the court explained your right to legal representation and the workings of the Legal Aid Board. The court reminds you of this again. You now know what the charges are that the state intends bringing against you. You now know the seriousness of the alleged offences. The court is going to postpone the issue the case at this stage. I am not going to request an answer of you, but keep this in mind. Don't reconsider. Keep in mind that an attorney or an advocate can be able to assist you with the legal issues that you have and that you have voiced up until now. Go and think about it. The court will address the issue again on your next appearance in court.
Ithemba lami benginalo kutefa ukuthi ngelinye ilanga ingane yami izophuma kuleya ndawo ekuyona. Ngendlela ebengimbona ekhuluma ngayo nangendlela ebengazi ngayo nami. Ngoba bengazi ukuthi umzokhulelwa kwasiya umbulali kaMeyiwa